Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to focus in on knives as self-defense tools and the knives that I like to use for possible self-defense. Now, don't get me wrong, knives should always be sort of a last-ditch effort in self-defense, but they're better than having nothing at all. So most of us have had some form of martial arts training or something like that, so you can sort of take care of yourself. But in so saying, having a bladed weapon always puts you at an advantage. So an experienced martial artist might be able to combat an inexperienced person with a knife or a bladed weapon. However, if said bladed weapon wielder had some skill set or some training with that knife, and a very experienced martial artist may actually have a problem. And may end up getting himself hurt. So it's quite important that we realize that you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, don't bring a fist to a knife fight. The analogy can go on and on and on. But just to talk a little bit about the self-defense blades that I carry on me personally, there's different times obviously where I can't always carry them. For example, if I'm flying for business or traveling like that. But anytime where I'm not boarding a plane, I have some form of knife on me, whether it be a pocket knife or a fixed blade or whatever the case may be. Now, pocket knives are great, but pull it out, unclip it, engage, and you're ready to use it. Not necessarily always the best self-defense weapon. This is the blade that I'm carrying with me today. I'll review it in due course. It's not a bad little knife, a little D2 blade. It's really cool, it's compact, it's nice just for around about heading out doing things. So on my non-dominant side, bearing in mind I do sport shooting as well, so sometimes there's other things in the equation besides knives, but if I'm just walking with knives, I will be carrying this on my non-dominant side. So this is what they call a K-bar TDI. This is a fairly oldish one. The black is even worn off the blade. It is nice and sharp. The idea behind this knife, this is still an old sheath system. The new one is actually a Kydex sheath, but with this you can grab it and you're engaged and ready to go within a half a second or whatever the case may be. And if you look at the dynamic of this knife, your hand is pretty straight. If you're like thrusting towards a person, you're there slashing, you know, it just helps you get somebody off you in a hurry. See, without holding the knife like that to thrust, you're holding it like that and thrusting. So it's quite a natural movement for you as opposed to a straight edge sort of knife. So this is really cool. You can also take it into sort of a reverse grip, almost like a karambit, and slash or, you know, stab into somebody, whatever the case may be. Again, you don't have to get to extreme angles to stab. Literally just straight out. There it is there. So the angle of this knife really is cool for self-defense. Again, there's a bit of a close-up on the K-bar TDI. I've had the larger one. Larger one is nice as a general knife as well. This is just cool as a self-defense blade. Now, this will be on the left side. If I am carrying a second, previously I had the large cold steel. It's now in my backpack. So this is the cold steel Coben. This is really cool, compact, and quite an effective bladed weapon for, for your various thrusts, etc. Very strong, nice, and it really comes with a nice sheath. This here can be carried inside waistband with a clip possibly on the outside. Engagement is pretty straightforward, and then you've got your knife out. You can do your cuts, whatever the case may be, your stabs, everything with this. It is a nice little knife. I like it. Still one of my favorite sort of EDC tactical, what would you say, self-defense blades. So this combination is pretty common on me, along with a folding knife for cutting random things. And a recent acquisition is the Smith & Wesson boot knife. So again, the sheath can be clipped inside the waistband. My problem with this is it rides a bit higher than this one in the waistband, so This can get in the way a little bit, but a really nice knife. Grab on the handle, I've got a little thumb stud over here, disengage, and you've got your knife out. So this is more of a dagger. It is a single edge, but it's got like a fake blunt edge. But for stabbing and thrusting, this thing's going to do a lot of damage. It's quite a nice little blade, I must say. I like it. It's effective as a self-defense weapon. Again, you can do your cuts, you can do your thrusts, and again, with it being a dagger, it's going in and it's going in deep. It does have quite a bit of depth to it, so a puncture wound is going to inflict a lot of damage to the assailant or your attacker. So definitely something worthwhile having a look at. So those are the three sort of major self-defense blades that I would carry on me at any given time. The choice of which one you would go with obviously depends on what you're familiar with. I've done a bit of straight edge knife fighting, I've done a bit of karambit knife fighting, so I can handle any and all of these quite comfortably. Still one of my favorites if I'm getting into a fight. However, in so saying, learn how to use your tools properly. Don't just take a knife and think, I'm sorted, I got a knife. Somebody with a bit of knife fighting skill or experience is going to nail you, literally, with the knife. So yeah, guys, that's it for now. Quick discussion on self-defense knives. Maybe I will get some of the knife instructors to do some videos, footage for this channel, so we can talk about the different styles of knife fighting and such, and introduce maybe some basic knife fighting to the channel. But obviously that'll depend on these instructors if they're willing to share the knowledge on video or not, because they do make money teaching this stuff. So that's it, guys. Again, the best knife is the one you have on you. So if all you have is a pocket knife, so be it. Defend yourself, take care of the issue, and move on. Pocket blade can still defend you, it can still cut, it can still inflict damage. It's still something worthwhile having on you. However, engaging this in a high stress situation, as opposed to grabbing this out of the sheath and engaging, big difference. This is designed for this, TDI, Tactical Defense Institute. It's literally designed for fast draw and engage with the person, so get them off you. Designed for police officers actually in your non-dominant hand, so if you can't get to your gun, you would engage with this and get the person off you, then draw your firearm and you could engage with them with a firearm. So cool blade, effective blade, probably hurt quite a bit too. Another effective blade, a little bit slimmer, I like this. So my favorite of those three, TDI, every single time. Cheers for now, everybody.